Welcome to Floor to Explore, the podcast where every episode takes you on a journey across the world of flooring. From rugged warehouse surfaces to cutting-edge sports courts and design-forward interiors. We've seen the good, the bad, and the beautifully coated, and we are here to share it all. From lab innovation all the way to real-world applications that are revolutionizing industries. Together with guests from around the globe, we'll uncover stories, challenges, and innovations that keep the world moving one floor at a time. Hi everyone, welcome to the very first episode of Floor Finder Floor to Explore podcast. I'm Fareth.
I'm Kiki,
your host for the episode of Innovation Under Your Feet. Today, we're diving deep into the hidden world of industrial and sports flooring with someone who has been walking this path for decades. With us today, Dr. Ralf Jooss, a true pioneer in polymer flooring solutions. Dr. Ralf, welcome to the show.
Hi to everyone.
We're calling this episode Innovation Under Your Feet because, let's be honest, most people never think twice about what they're standing on until there's something wrong. And today, we're going to change that. So, let's start with the obvious. Why flooring? What drew you into this very niche industry decades ago?
It's a good question, but not that simple to answer. I mean, it's logic that the main things in life can't be planned. As John Lennon said, as an example, life is what's happening while you make other plans. And just based on this, it's all about the opportunities which will be given by the life. And opportunities present themselves. So at the end, it's up to you what kind of chance you are using, this or the other way. Right. So if you just came to this point, what to say? At the very beginning, I wanted to become a rock star, honestly. Yes, I was in the guitar playing, I won some competitions, some prizes here and there, started a rock band, developed quite well, so we were really successful at that time. So this was around the mid-80s, but based on that, the classical hard rock was more ending of the show, and the early 90s totally changed to a new style of music. So you need to realize sometimes in life, time over, it's not the right time. So if you are at the wrong place at the wrong time and have not the best idea, it doesn't work. So this I realized. So furthermore, of course, I was all the time interested in natural sciences and especially in chemistry. So why chemistry? Chemistry is the main connecting science in this world. Why? It's the elements, the compositions, the action, the reaction. Here you can really create new things. So this is finally a basement where you get into chemistry. Now coming back to your why, the purpose, if it is flooring, come on. No one is really thinking about flooring in a first step. So right. It always came by accident. So when I studied chemistry, diploma, doctoral thesis, later on I got awarded a scholarship of the Royal Institute of Technology Stockholm in Sweden for research in batteries. This was in the mid-90s, early mid-90s, so I said, okay, was another great idea. And then, again, call it by accident, but even there is no accident in life. Everything falls into place when you are at the right place. So, however, I became a job offer from an industrial flooring company. So, and I just took this opportunity. Again, opportunity presents themselves. So I've taken it and I realized, okay, I started as a product manager. Based on that, I get into a so-called career. Like it or not, the word career is something what we think about coming from the Spanish language. Carrera, it's a racetrack. The career, what we are all thinking about, is a racetrack. At the end of the day, you are running a rat race. And of course, you can even become the top rat, but don't forget, you're still a rat. I never wanted to do that. So in other words, this is when I started in a corporate company where you just follow the guidelines. Of course, I became a director, managing director of one company, 2, 3, 4, 5 companies at the same time. I became a board member, company went public, we collected a lot of money, and then we started to conquer the world, to be #1 in flooring. So this was exciting. Yeah. So, but more than that, I became even a board member, but it's a different world, it's a crazy world. You always have to follow guidelines, structure. Honestly, I never was into that. So I realized everything is run by goals. I mean, if you just look at your book of life, goals are the chapters in your book. But then I also ask myself, what the hell is my life about? What's the headline? What's the overarching purpose? Not just sitting there and running after goal. Okay, but going more deep in this is a longer story, not for today. But at the end of the day, in a corporate world, it's all about money, achieving goals, and this is just boring, you know. More important for yourself is, do you have an orientation? Do you know where to go? And again, it's coming all the back again to your brief question, the why. So I realized I want to work with and for people, and not against them or use them or even misuse them, which in my opinion, the main corporates are all time doing. So that's why, coming back to the point, started my own company, because I realized I will not get that what I wanted in a corporate. I started the company Via Core, coming from the Latino language, Via, V-A-E, it's the way, the path, and core, C-O-R, core is the heart. So whatever you do, you should follow your heart. It never, ever leads you wrong. Sometimes you do not realize this at the very beginning, but later on, you get to your point, you get your answer. And then again, one more thing which is quite important in life is the word responsibility, responsibility, to be able to answer. People, that's what I realized, people who gain more and more responsibility or take over responsibility are at the end, call it, more successful. They create more fulfillment in life. And that's again, it's all about. So coming together, the industrial flooring itself was not the major point or target. It just came across the way, and it's a tool to go. But if you want to go in this detail even more, you can say, you know, a floor. It's the foundation. It's a basement. You can't build a high-rise building without a good foundation. That's why a floor is all the time important. It's the basement of everything. Does this answer your question?
I think so.
You think so? Okay.
What's something outsiders totally misunderstand about what you do?
Misunderstand? What a crazy question. I think they don't even understand. So it's a good question, what to misunderstand. What we do. Misunderstand, understand. As I said, foundation, basement, that's important in life. You need to have something where you really can rely on. Yeah, something where it gives you also some structure, some safety or whatever. Yeah? Based on that, you can create at any time your own adventure. And again, it's all the time what kind of answers you get to life, and especially in this case also of misunderstanding. Just ask questions. With the questions, you are leading. So in other words, you even can answer every question by answering it, understanding what's all about. So you see, we're coming back and forth, and at the end of the day, misunderstanding, get it to understanding. And this is what kind of sense you find to the other. It's the same wavelength. This is important to create. and then from there you can move.
Agree.
As simple as that.
Agree. So, Dr. Ralf, is there a project where everything should have gone wrong, but it didn't, or the other way around?
Oh, shit. Yes, there was something. I remember quite well. Of course, it's almost 30 years back. So at that time, we had to develop for the military, the German military, a floor where they brought their aircrafts, the fighters, back in a hole, indoor hole, and they used highly aggressive chemicals like formic acid, nitric acid, methanol, acetone, all in a crazy mix. So usually no floor can withstand this kind of chemicals, not at all. So it was a great challenge. Of course, we had some crazy ideas too. And finally, we found a solution which works out well with this flooring. So the chemical resistance, we really could make it. So we get to this place and said, we have it. And so we created a sample, 100 square meters there. And so we got paid for it, got it done. They come with one finder, cleaned the finder, and great, it works out well. So we got a big job, big money, big margin. So we were super happy. But there went something wrong. What went wrong? I tell you, something. You never think about it. You never think about it. Considering resistance according all these strange, crazy chemicals. And suddenly, for whatever reason, someone came to clean up the floor with water.
Water?
Just pure water. And then the floor is gone. The floor is gone, the total floor is gone.
With water?
Just with water, but could withstand all the chemicals. Yeah, okay, there is some insider thing. It was a mineral based, it was a water class, potassium, aluminium silicate, and the reaction was not properly done. So, and at the beginning, these kind of composition can be diluted, destroyed by water. And this really happened. It really happened.
Oh, I see.
And we were in a big disaster. They looked at us with these eyes and they even asked themselves, what the hell happened, you know? It's resistant against everything and they just come with stupid water and it's all is gone. So yes, this was a nightmare.
Okay.
But we solved it.
So, Dr. Ralf, you've given us the why behind your journey into the flooring. Now let's get into the real meat of what you do, the project itself. Because theory is one thing, but reality, that's where the rubber meets the road. Or shall I say, the polymer meets the concrete.
What do clients actually think they want, and versus what they actually need?
Good question. You know, most of them, that's a funny thing, they don't use their brain. Why I'm saying this? Mainly they look what the market already is delivering, offering. In other words, they mainly look what the competitors are having or doing. And they very often just ask, I would like to have something like blah, blah, blah. Yeah? And I think, what is nonsense, you know? Why they don't be creative and even know what they really want, you know? So in other words, I think I heard it from Jack Ma some time ago, you know, they said, don't focus on your competitors, focus on your customers. That's all about, yeah? Ask questions. Again, with questions you are leading, you get everything out. And on the other side, you even show the respect to them because you are willing to listen. That's all about. So in other words, know exactly what your customer wants, and if you know it, you come with the offer. So when I usually visit customers, I never take anything with me. You know, I just come clean. Yeah, I don't take samples, I don't take brochures, I don't take anything. Why? Needless. Ask questions, then exactly know what they really want, and if you know that, then you come with the precise answers. Solutions. That's it. Don't waste their time with, oh, I'm having this, I'm having that. It's not from interest.
Exactly.
Got it?
Yes.
Great.
Exactly. So, have you ever had to politely say to customer that's a bad idea and here's why? How do you handle that diplomatically?
Yeah, why shall I even say it's a bad idea? If I want to show respect, if I want to take him serious, I never would say, hey, you had a bad idea. Why should I do that? It's nonsense. Yeah. Better to work out something, again, get to know what they really want and then to create an idea. There is never ever a bad idea. This bad idea usually creates another idea, maybe an even better idea. So this is how development is moving. Be curious at any time. The sky has no limit. Just go.
That's a great answer. So those project stories really highlight how complex this industry can be behind the scene. But it's not just about the individual project, is it? There's a whole ecosystem of people you have to work with and to convince. Let's talk about the bigger picture of our industry.
From applicators to architects, which group is the hardest to convince when it comes to PU flooring?
To convince, is a different world. Architects, the planners, the consultants, it's a different world than the applicators. Applicators are finally the main customers, the main clients to us. The architects, the planners, the engineers are the next level. They usually create the tender specification. They usually look on this. So, to answer your question, again, it's a different world. Tender specification usually has to follow guidelines and standards and all these things, If you come to standards, how does an architect think? How does an engineer think? At the end of the day, they only just think in security and safety and all this stuff. Other words, they just don't want to make anything wrong. They just are not really seriously interested to make things right. So they just want to secure themselves that everything is on line and nothing can go wrong. That's their interest. Yeah? Say it this way. The applicators, the customers, our customers, they are more focused on easy to apply. Of course, it has to work technically and cost nothing. Yeah, so this is finally their kind of interest.
Yeah, as you
But
said,
there is no one which is more difficult. It's just different.
as you said, cost nothing. A lot of people are trying to cut costs today. So can cheap floorings backfire?
Cheap. That's the birds are singing,
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
the
it's very simple. And finally, at the end of the day, whatever you do in life, the value, the cost, the price, everyone is getting what you pay for. So if you pay nothing, don't expect too much. Same thing. A good service, a good product, a good development has some value and there is a price for.
So what's the difference between about flooring clients in Asia and the West? Do you see any different attitudes towards quality, cost, or even branding?
Of course there are some, but finally we are all humans. So the main things are everywhere the same, so there is no real difference. Just a few examples. If you look for Scandinavia, Norway, Sweden, Finland, they are known for their environmental development or green industries and all these things. Just some side stories. You need to fulfill all these terrible requirements, no solvents, nothing inside, no smell. Of course, according to some standards, everything is proven. So you deliver all these great goods to these countries and then you look at the applicator, what they are doing, putting liters of solvents on the job site in the material. Yeah. So what's all about? I mean, these kind of things you will find everywhere in the world. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's always, when you say the purpose, when you ask for the why, it's more about their own why. Why are they doing this? Do they just running after money? collecting money, earn money, and don't think about what they really do, or they have a purpose. If they have a purpose, so if they want to bring something good to their customers, to their clients, and create solutions and be also an inventor of great things, then it's a different story. They will behave different. And again, this you will find everywhere in the world. Furthermore, yes, you have different cultures, you have different places, yes, but at the end of the day, you make a product, you offer the product, you deliver it, the applicator does it. And what I'm saying, for me, the standards or whatever it is are not that important. Important is that you can satisfy your customer. That's important, that he is happy, whatever he gets.
True.
Yes. So, which countries do you think having the most growth potential floor finder, and why?
As I said, there is no real limit and there is no real target. The world is not enough. So at the end of the day, we are not in a position, as we are a big corporate, that we have to have these kind of turnover sales or whatever. So it doesn't matter. For us, it's more important to create for ourselves challenges. Is it, we have done, as I remember, running tracks in Honolulu, Hawaii, Mauritius, Papua New Guinea, everywhere in this world, in all climate zones. Same for industrial flooring. And this is more exciting to do different things in different areas. So it's not to say this is a market we have to be focused on, or no. We just look, again, opportunities will present themselves. And usually it's like that. You always will find the right people. They're connecting together. Whatever you send out, you get back. And don't be surprised if you don't send anything out that nothing comes back.
Yes.
I agree.
Have you ever turned down a job overseas? What was the reason?
No, we didn't. Why should we? Very important, keep your promises. In this case, when your customer is giving you a job, hello, you have to fulfill it. That's it. No way back. Keep your promises. Deliver it. That's it.
Perfect. So all these global insights fascinating, but let's bring it back home for our listeners who might be facing a flooring decision right now. So Dr. Ralf, I want to put you on the spot with a hypothetical scenario. If a client came to you and say, Ralf, I want 0 headaches for the next 10 years, what would you recommend?
Okay, choose what you get, and you always got what you chose.
Meaning?
Simple, choose what you get, and you always got what you chose. Simple answer. You don't get it.
No, if I were to ask you for the next question, I wanted 0 headaches, and that's the answer you gave me, I wouldn't be understanding.
Yeah, then okay, another answer will be, do you feel that we are the right partner for you?
Oh, okay.
If you have to say clearly yes, same thing.
Okay.
Easy does it.
Okay. That advice is obviously coated in gold, but before we wrap it up, we want to have some fun with you, if that's okay. We've got a rapid round of questions, some serious, some not so much.
Okay.
So, are you ready?
Of course.
Here we go. Quick one. What's the weirdest thing a client has asked you to do for the floor?
The weirdest thing, I remember it was also a longer time ago, they asked me, they want to have a floor for ice skating.
Ice?
Ice skating. I said, ice skating, a floor? I couldn't go along with it, so I said, ice skating? I was also not sure if this is serious, this question, but it seems to be, it was serious. So I said, oh, I have some containers in my backyard. They are full with some liquid. I bring it out, the freezer is under there, and then afterwards you can go ice skating. So finally it's frozen water, of course, ice. No, but the end, the question was, of course, a little bit more sophisticated. So he looked for a flooring where he can do in wintertime an area for ice skating, and in summertime for roller skating. same thing. So that means at the winter, they just put, of course, water on it. They had the freezer inside the flooring included. But this has to withstand so that the liquid water, when it's of course liquid, doesn't go in the floor and finally destroy the floor while freezing. And on the other side, it is smooth and easy to clean during the summertime. So this was weird and a little bit of contradiction, but it worked out.
That's definitely a unique one. So one word to describe polymer flooring.
Mission impossible. Or in other words, in German they say, forgive me for the German, wer Kunststoff kennt, der nimmt Zement. Translation? Who knows plastics takes cement. Because it's hardly difficult to control the reactions in polymers. They are not that simple.
Okay, next. What's the most underrated thing about a good flooring?
The most underrated is everything possible. So you always underrate if you cannot imagine. It's the imagination. Everything is possible with polymer flooring. Especially, it's the polyurethane itself as a composition. Why? You can do everything if you know how to do it. You can make it soft, you can make it hard, chemical resistant, hard, undestroyable, rough, anti-skid, conductive, whatever you can imagine, everything is possible. That's the funny thing.
So, what's one flooring material you'd never touch again?
Okay, chemically wise, it will be unsaturated polyester, it will be PMMA, the shortage of polymethylene methacrylate. Why? It is hazardous and not good for the health of any applicator. So whatever, if I'm a chemist and if I already know, even my production people or even the applicators have any harm or any issues now or later, I never want to do or handle with such materials.
Oh, okay. So, your dream client or your dream project?
Oh no, that means nothing at all or nothing. All or nothing. No, I have no serious dream customer or dream project. Whatever is a challenge, I'm on it. I like adventure, so in other words, you always have to ask your own the question, what are you dedicated for? Imagine you have a flag, one word. What's the one word standing for you? So in my case, I also thought a long time about it. It's just one word, adventure. So whatever creates something new, challenges, I'm on it.
That was fantastic. I love all the answers. But before we close, Dr. Ralf, we want to give you the floor. No pun intended, for some final thoughts.
Okay, thank you. So it was a great pleasure to be here and join this platform. As you said, the very first episode. It's great to get something started, something new started. This is always a great challenge and more to come. I like that a lot. Why? It's a new platform. You can create new things. It's creating also in this kind of industry, give others the opportunity to show up, to exchange. This will give some more knowledge, experiences to other people, interested people. This is what all of us brings forward. And I really appreciate that, and that's all about. Never stop. So there's one old saying, if you're going through hell, don't stop. Keep on moving. So, or if you dig in or sit in a hole, don't dig. It's important. Go forward. Create new things. Be curious at any time. That's it. Great. Thank you for this opportunity.
That's great. Dr. Ralf, this has been absolutely enlightening. From your personal journey into flooring decades ago to the global perspective that you've shared today. It's clear that what's beneath our feet is far more complex and innovative than most people realize. For our listeners, the key takeaway here isn't just about choosing the right flooring material. It's about understanding that good flooring is an investment of long-term success. Whether you are running a warehouse, a sports facilities, or even planning a space where performance matters. Dr. Ralf, Thank you for sharing your expertise and for all the work that you've done behind the curtains to keep the world moving smoothly.
Thank you.
Next episode, we're diving into the world of elite sports, performance with Vagant Resources. We will discover how cutting-edge sporting flooring technology is giving athletes the advantage to break records and prevent injuries.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Floor to Explore. Stay ahead, stay curious, and stay grounded. Don't forget to follow, share, and keep exploring the future of flooring with us at floorfinderasia.com.